Hello and welcome to Shadow of the Sphinx. This is the journey of the Serebryanyy Shtyk to the Lost City. And the first part of this campaign will consist of 3 scenarios. Murder in the Souk, the Oasis, and Depressing Times. Having successfully obtained a map fragment showing the way to the Lost City, the unit are now on their way. The Serebryanyy Shtyk, as usual, are led by Baron Igor Jerkov. He's now recovered from the Viper's venom. His second in command is Dmitry Dynadich, a junior officer. Known only as the Priest, the unit's champion of faith is a veteran of these adventures. Medical support is provided by Doktorov. Cherny Bint is a supernatural investigator joining for the first time. And of course we have the favourites Plonka and Molotov, infantryman and sapper respectively. And the final member is another new recruit, Mustafa Kunt, who's a janissary. The Serebryanyy Shtyk have been marching across the trackless sand for 3 agonising days with nothing but a compass as a guide. The water is all gone, skin is dry and cracked. The map shows an oasis not far from here, but either it's wrong or they're off course. Finally, after their agonising trek across the desert, the unit espy the oasis. They're saved. However, the unit will be cautious because oases have a habit of attracting other things. First to activate is Dynadich, and he's in the group on the left. Now, extreme temperature and loose sand are in play in this scenario. Any move to sprint may come at some risk. Mustafa moves up behind Dynadich, Molotov moves on the right hand group, and Cherny Bint over here. No monsters are active, so the rest of the teams will move forward. End of turn. Dynadich is keen, he's off again. Now it's Plonka. Molotov, all going nicely to plan at the moment. And the Baron. Once again, no contact, so the rest of the unit will move up. Mustafa Kunt getting slightly channelled there by the rough ground to his right. End of turn 2, and I've got to roll to see if anything appears. And on a 7 to 10, it certainly does. Zombie camel comes out of the trees. Terror check -1 for Dynadich because the camel's within 3 inches, but his courage is +3, so it's a +2 in total. No effect. Dynadich takes that in his stride. Well, first to activate in this turn is the Priest. He's lagging behind at the rear, but will leapfrog Molotov and go to start to look for some clues. Plonka will go and join him, as will Molotov. Well, Dynadich activates now, and he's going to get straight in on this camel. +2 melee. 14, 16. That's 5 damage. But it's a damage reduction of 4, so just the 1. And I guess the camel's going to bite him back. +2 melee. 9, 11. That's a miss. Dynadich will have to back away. Well, now that camel is going to go straight for him. +1 melee because he's fatigued. 16. 9 points of damage. Well, I'm afraid that's an immediate use of damage negation. Saves himself 3. But he's now on 6 health and will strike back at +1 melee. That's a miss. Camel will back away. And they're both indefatigable, so no further fatigue on them. Mustafa will activate now. He will fire his musket at the camel. +1. 12, 13. Camel's defense is 12. That's a hit. 8 damage, reduced by 4. Mustafa will reload. Doktorov. I guess he'll get on the action. He's got a pistol. Net 0. Well, that's a cracking hit. 16. 9 damage. Less 4. 5. And little old Cherny Bint at the back here. She actually does have a pistol, but we'll have to move. And we'll now open fire. Normally +1, but because she moved, it's net 0. 11. That's a miss. And she's unloaded. Final activation is the Baron. I think he's got to come and help out. Moves over there. Clear line of sight. Net 0 because of his movement. 14 is a hit. 6 damage, reduced to 2. Zombie Camel is on 3 health. End of turn event. Do we get another zombie camel? Oh my lordy, we do. Well, fortunately for the unit, this one pops up here and is more than 3 inches away from everybody, so no terror check. End of turn. Righty-ho, turn 4, and Molotov is going to activate first. Rough ground there, so he can only go half distance anyway. King of Spades, a dual encrusted dagger. This weapon counts as blessed and enchanted, but can only be used in one scenario in the campaign. After that, its power is gone. Well, that's handy. Next up, it's the priest. Well, he'll try a miracle and try to heal Dynaditch a bit. Needs 10 plus. Well, there we go. Dynaditch is back to 9 health. Priest drops to 10. Doktorov's activating now. He's going to move just past Journey Bint and fire at the camel. -1. That's 12, but -1 takes it to 11. A miss. And the Dok's unloaded. And old Dynaditch gets back in action. +2 melee. 11, 13 hit. 6 points of damage. Reduced by 2. Camel's on 1 health, but he's still there. And will fight back. +2 melee. 12, 14 is a hit. Dmitry Dynaditch's defense is 13, 7 points of damage. He crashes back to 2 health and will back away. And now it's the monster's turn. Zombie Camel ain't happy. Teeth gnashing, he lunges at Dynaditch. +1 because he's fatigued. But that's a miss. Dynaditch will strike back with +1. 10, 11, that's also a miss. Camel will back away. But look out, Plonker, there's another one of these. Charges straight in. +2 melee. That's a miss. Plonker will fight back +1. 17. 7 points of damage, reduced to 3. And the camel will back away. But look out, Serebryanyy Shtyk. There's a couple of Frenchies here, also making for the Oasis. They must be part of Vicomte de Vomit's gang. They will open fire. Looks like the only viable target at the moment is the Baron just behind the Oasis. The one on the left will crack on. Standard infantry +1 accuracy. First one misses, and he'll reload. Now the one on the right. Also a miss, and he'll reload. Desperate times over this side of the Oasis. Journey Bint will reload and fire and try and finish off this camel. +1. 16, 17, 10 points of damage, reduced by 4, but that's enough. Crumbles into the dust. Now it's over to Plonker. What's he going to do? Well, he's better with his musket, so he's going to open fire on this zombie camel. +1 to hit because of fatigue. But that's a miss. Well, I guess he can close to attack. Net 0. 12. Well, that is a hit, but with 3 damage and a damage reduction of 4, that is no effect on Zombie Camel, who will strike back for +1, which is 12. Plonker's defense is 13, no effect. Plonker backs away and is clearly wearing himself out here. The staff is on the move. He'll come around here. And finally it's the Baron. He'll move up to the clue marker. 10 of spades. He finds the skeletal remains of humans. Add 1 power die to the fate pool. Well, that's the end of turn. Let's see if there's any more camels about. Oh my lordy, there are. Well, this clump of palm trees is clearly a hotbed of zombie camel activity. Another one tears out of there and goes straight for Mustafa Kunt. And because he's within 3 inches, it's a terror check for the Janissary. The stalwart Kunt stands his ground. Next turn, and first to activate is Molotov. He's over here. And he's going to fire at the left-hand Frenchie. +1 to hit. 11, 12, not good enough. Infantryman's defense is 13. And Molotov will reload. Well, next up is Dynaditch. Only got 2 health, so I don't think he's going to be attacking the zombie camel. He'll move over here. But he'll turn here and fire one of his pistols at the camel. Frenchies are too far away. Net 0 because of movement. And that's a miss. Dynaditch is unloaded. Now the Baron's activating. He will turn to his left and engage the camel. So he's +1 accuracy, but that's a poor miss. He's now unloaded, and unfortunately, because of the rough ground there in the Oasis, he can't move to attack, but I think he'll still go over there anyway. And whilst we're there, Plonker will activate, he will fire at the camel. That's a miss. And move to melee. +1. Another poor effort. Camel will strike back. He's on +2. That's a total of 12. Also a miss. And Plonker has to back away. Well, we'll stay here and do some zombie camel action. Straight in on the Baron. Just the +1 because he's fatigued. That's no effect. The Baron will fight back at +2, and because he has great faith, his weapons always count as blessed. Maximum damage coming up if he hits. Well, he certainly does with that. 13. Zombie Camel's defense is 12, so that's a hit, 7 damage. No reduction. Drops to a health of 4, and has to back away. This camel will steam into Mustafa. +2. 15, 17, 9 points of damage. Oh dear. Mustafa drops to 1 health and will strike back. +1, which is 17. 9 points of damage, reduced by 4. 5. It's a solid hit, and the camel backs away. Well, now we're back to Vomit's infantryman. Dynaditch is to the left-hand side of the Oasis, and they're going for him. Left-hand Monsieur, +1. Well, that's a miss. And the right-hand Monsieur, also +1. Well, they're not doing too well. Perhaps there's too much dust in the air. Both of them will reload. And they clearly don't want to advance too far because there's some nasty-looking zombie camels about, and obviously they're outnumbered. So they'll just hover at the edge of the Oasis area. Priest is up again. He'll move over here and attempt another miracle on the Janissary, otherwise he's going to die rather rapido. It's a miracle. The Staffer is back up to 4 health, but that's still pretty low. Right, Chernybint to the rescue. She can just about move to melee with the camel. She's actually a +2 on the melee with a heavy weapon. 12, 14, 8 points of damage. 9 with the heavy weapon, reduced by 4, so a solid hit of 5. Camel will strike back at +1. 15. Chernybint's defense is 14, so that's a hit for 5 damage. She drops to 7 health and has to back away. Well, now it's Doktorov. He can't do a great deal because he's unloaded, so he'll reload and move. And finally Mustafa, who will just fire. +1, but he's fatigued, so it's net 0. And that's a miss. He'll reload. New turn, and the Baron is activating first. Steams in, +2 melee with his blessed weapon. Well, we can't get much better than that, apart from obviously a critical hit. 18, 20, more importantly, 10 points of damage. And that camel withers away, and the Baron will reload. Now it's Mustafa. He'll stay that distance and open fire. +1 is 19, 8 points of damage, reduced to 4. And that camel's gone. Unit going great guns at the moment. Time for another miracle. The priest will try his efforts on Dynaditch. Ding dong. Back up to 5 health. Priest drops to 9. And Plonker's up now. He'll move to the clue marker. Obviously they're all ignoring the useless Frenchies the other side of the Oasis. Queen of Spades. A nest of snakes is writhing in a human skull. The figure must make a terror check as a snake swarm attacks. Add 1 skill die to the fate pool. Plonker gets +1 for his courage. So that's 9. He's distracted. And that means he gets -1 on all checks until the next activation. Well, the snakes will immediately attack. With a +1 on melee, that's 13, which is a hit. 6 damage. Plonker drops to 5, and they're venomous. Courage check at 14. Less 1 because of his courage himself, so needs 13. Cracking roll there, so the venom doesn't affect him. Nearly forgot Plonker to have his strike back at -1, which means he's net 0. 13. That is a hit. 4 damage, but it's damage reduction of 7 for melee, so no effect. Now the swarm will slither back. We're back to the Frenchies. They will open fire on Dynaditch. +1. That's a miss. Reload. And the Frenchie there has had enough and he'll disappear. The other monsieur, same target, Dynaditch. 8, 9, miss. And he will disappear as well. Vicomte de Vomit's gang are pretty hopeless there, but they realise they're up against the Serebryanyy Shtyk, and discretion is the better part of valour. They've gone. Next to activate for the unit is Chernybint, and she will move over to the clue marker in the palm trees. Then he's at the Oasis. A hole filled with cracked bones. A giant scorpion will immediately appear and attack. Now these are nasty little creatures. +3 melee. 10, 13. Well, fortunately, Chernybint's defence is 14, so that's a miss, and she'll strike back. 14, 16. That's a hit. Damage reduction of 2, so that's 5 health off the giant scorpion. He will click his way backwards. Doktorov activates now. Although he's close to the giant scorpion, he's going to go and give Dynaditch a bit of medical assistance. And he can start to patch him up next turn. Whilst that's happening, Dynaditch will reload and fire. +1. 15, 16, that's a hit. 7 points of damage, reduced to 5. And final activation of the turn is Molotov. And he'll carry on here. Can't go too far because it's rough ground. That's the end of turn. Do we have any visitors? Dear oh dear, we've got another zombie camel. And can you believe it, he's just popped up by Molotov. We'll have to take a terror check. Net 0. Unfazed. I'll tell you what, none of these zombie camels are putting off the unit at the moment. That is the end of turn. So, quick synopsis of where we are. The Frenchies have had enough, they've disappeared. Bit of harassing fire, and they'll obviously report back to Vicomte de Vomit. More importantly for the unit, they are working their way steadily across the area. They've secured the Oasis. They'll be able to get some water soon, hopefully after they've defeated all the monsters. There's a nasty giant scorpion down here with Chernybint. However, Mustafa Kunt and old Doc and Dynaditch are in support. And over on the other side, Plonker is fighting off this snake swarm, but the Baron's there. And old Molotov's got a zombie camel coming up his rear. Ooh, misses. New turn. First to activate is Dynaditch. Whilst the medic is trying to patch him up, he will fire at the scorpion. +1. 14, 15, that's a hit. 8 points of damage, reduced to 6. Scorpion's on 4 health. Now it's Chernybint. Can she finish him off? She'll move to attack. +2 melee. 13, 15. 3 points of damage, but she's got a heavy weapon. That's 4. Reduced to 2. Scorpion's on 2 health. And will fight back. But the Scorpion's claws miss the unit's supernatural investigator, and she will back away. Baron's activating now, and together with Plonker, they've got to try and sort out this snake swarm. Damage reduction of 7 is pretty grim, so they've got to get in there and club them to death. Close to melee. +2. 13, 15. I'll tell you what, that's the way to do it. 10 damage, reduced by 7 to 3. And because the snakes only start with 6 health, they're down to 3. But they will strike back. 9 +1 for melee is 10. That is a miss. The Baron backs away, and I think you can reload. And back over the other side of the Oasis, Mustafa Kunt will fire at the Scorpion. 16, 17 with his accuracy. 9 points of damage, reduced by 2. Scorpion's had it. And Kunt will reload. Right, snakes are activating. They're going to slither over to Plonker. But their strike misses. And Plonker will hack back at them. +1 melee gives 17, 9 points of damage, reduced by 7, so that's 2. Snake swarm is on 1. They are indefatigable, so they remain on 1 fatigue token. And now the zombie camel will attack Molotov. +2.
Molotov's defense is 14, 10 damage. He's down to 1 health. He'll turn and face. And he'll use the dual encrusted dagger, which is blessed and enchanted, which means this is going to be full effect. So that's 13, 15. That is a hit for 5 points of damage. And the camel backs away. Right, Plonker will activate and go straight for the swarm. Got to try and finish them off. Net 0 because he's fatigued. But that's a miss. Snakes will strike back. Also a miss. And again, Plonker is wearing himself out. The priest is very active in calling for help from God at the moment. He'll turn around and try and do a miracle to heal Molotov. But this time his faith fails him. No effect. Finally, Doktorov gets some bandages on Dynadich, so he gains 2 health. And last to activate for the turn is Molotov, and he'll just open fire on the camel. Net 0 because of fatigue. And that's a miss. End of turn. Any other camels about? No. Right, Chernybint's off first this time. She'll come over here. Now it's Molotov, and I think, sensibly, he's going to back away from the camel because he's only got the 1 health. Baron's active now. He's got a dilemma. Does he go for the camel or the snakes? I think he'll try and kill off the snakes first. +2 melee. 14, 16. That's a hit, but damage reduction means no effect. Snakes will strike back. +1. 13, 14. That's just a hit. Oh dear, oh dear. 8 points of damage, but the snakes can only do a maximum of 5, but that's still pretty bad. Baron drops to 8 health. I'll have to do a courage check against the venom. Needs a 10. Well, he's okay there. And we'll back away. He wouldn't be doing too well if he got poisoned twice in this adventure. And staying over this side, Plonker's activating now. Gets into the snakes. +1 melee. Well, that would have done it if he'd have hit, but he doesn't. It's a 12, and Snake's defense is 13, so no. They'll strike back. Net 0. 13 is a hit. 8 points of damage. That's going to kill old Plonker. Damage reduction required. Well, can you believe it? That's negated all of it. Lucky Plonker. But he will still have to do a courage check against the venom. Needs a 13. Doesn't get it. He's poisoned. -2 move and -1 to all checks. And Plonker backs away. And I'm afraid for him that the snakes are active now. I'm going to go straight for him. Net 0 to hit because the snakes are writhing around too much and they're a little bit tired now. And their little necks can't reach up to Plonker, so that's a miss. He will fight back. -1 due to fatigue and the poison. Well, that's a cracking hit. 17, 16, still a hit. 9 points of damage. Reduced by 7 is 2, and that's enough to see off the snakes. And they'll slither away. Well done, Plonker. But I'm afraid his luck may have run out. Zombie Camel is activating now, and will trot around these little ruins and go straight for him. Not quite sure whether camels trot or not. Anyway, here we go. +2 melee. Camel misses. Plonker will fight back at -1 because of fatigue. In fact, -2 because of the poison. And that's a miss. Camel backs away. Right, Dynadich is up now. He'll come over here. I think the priest will try and bless Plonker's weapon. Should have done this ages ago, but there we go. Completely forgot about that. Oh, he fails that as well. Dear oh dear, the priest is suffering at the moment. He's losing health left, right and centre, doing all these miracles. Or perhaps failed miracles. Now the Janissary is moving. And that is the end of turn. Apart from seeing if another camel appears. No. Dynadich gets going again. Up to the clue marker. Jack of Spades. An old clay pot containing some scrolls. Place a giant scorpion 3 inches away from the clue marker. It will immediately attack. Add 1 power die to the fate pool. Well, clickety clacks in again. +3 melee. 8, 11, that's a miss. Dynadich will turn around and strike back. +2 melee. That's a dreadful miss. Scorpion back away. Mustafa to the rescue. He will fire at the scorpion. I'll give him partially obscured, so it'll be a -1 for that. Net 0. No, that's a real shame. The ruins there protected the Scorpion because his defence is 13. Kunt will reload. And now the Baron will get in with his blessed weapon on the camel. +2 melee. 15, that's a hit, 5 damage. Camel's health drops to 4. And he will strike back, +2 melee. 14, 16, that's a hit. 6 points of damage. That takes the Baron down to 2. So there's plenty of fate dice knocking around. I'll use a power die to negate some damage. So that negates 4. But the Baron still drops to 6 health and will back away. And now Molotov moved to the final clue marker. 9 of spades. A broken sarcophagus with the tattered remains of a mummy inside. So he's got a choice here. Is he going to leave it or have a rummage? 1, 2, 3, he leaves it. 4, 5, 6, he has a rummage. Ooh, he has a rummage. So he finds a strange scarab amulet carved from an unidentifiable stone. He gains 1 health and a power die. However, he's got to roll for the mummy's curse after the scenario. Okay, monster activation. The camel is up. He's going for Plonker. +1 melee. That's a miss. Plonker will strike back. +1. 12, 13. Zombie Camel's defense is 12. That's a hit. 7 damage. Reduced by 4. That's another 3. Camel's on 1 health and will back away. And over here, clickety-clack, Scorpion's on the move. Only +2 melee this time. He's getting tired clacking those claws. But that's a massive hit. 19, 21, 10 points of damage. Dynaditch only has 7 health. Another power die being used to negate some damage. Oh, can you believe it? Negates it all. Ooh, that was very lucky. Dynaditch will strike back. +1 melee. That's a miss. Scorpion backs away. Doktorov moves and will fire with his pistol at the Scorpion. -1. 13, reduced to 12, no good. Churney Bimp will also move and open fire with her pistol. Net 0. That's a miss. Plonker will try and finish this camel off. He's firing. Net 0. 16, that's a hit. 6 damage, reduced by 4. So that's enough to finish him off. And final activation is the priest. He'll move over here. Right, end of turn. Any more camels? No. Right, the Baron's on the move. As is Plonker. And actually, he can open fire on the Scorpion there. 15, 16, 10 points of damage. Reduced by 2, but 8 is a massive hit. And Plonker is unloaded. Now it's Molotov. He'll swing around and also open fire. He's on +1. 16. Also a hit. Another 4 damage. Reminds me of Starship Troopers that are all surrounding the insectoid and having a go. Doktorov. He'll reload and fire his pistol. Net 0. But even the Doc has hit. 14. 4 points of damage. Another 2. Scorpion's writhing on 1 health. But will now activate and attack Dynaditch again. +3 melee. No. Dynaditch will strike back. +2. 16, 18, 8 points of damage, reduced by 2, but that's enough to crush the exoskeleton of the Scorpion and pulverise him into the deck. Well, there we go. That was a bit of an epic by the unit there. But they've secured the Oasis and will be able to replenish their water skins and have a good old draft there before they move on. Now, they did survive and some nasty injuries there, a massive use of miracles, and their Doc was coming around with his bandages. So they'll be able to patch themselves up before they move on to the Lost City. However, got to roll for the Mummy's Curse. So Molotov will need a 9 or above. Curse? What curse? Molotov shrugs that one off, and the unit prepare to move off to the Lost City.